yeah, Spider-Man 2. Describing why this film is so good is not going to be easy. How do you describe a masterpiece? Well, I don't know. Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies / superhero movie sequels of all time. Because this film takes one giant leap and is good, I don't know what to say. Part of the movie's adaptation of the classic Spider-Man comic Spider-Man No More, right down to the exact shot. And part of the movie is an adaptation of the Dr. Octopus fights that Spider-Man's always have. And here's another point about this Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy is so great, that I mentioned in the last video I did on this, is that each film has one of the main 3 Spider-Man villains for each of the main 3, which automatically makes the Spider-Man Raimi trilogy the best Spider-Man movies because of that. Why would I want to see the Lizard as one of the main villains? He's good, but he's not Dr. Octopus, or the Green Goblin, or the Venom, for instance. Also, look at this fucking fight, it's amazing. Having a fight on a train that's not there actually in real life, but it looks really cool, so who cares? This film's full of amazing shit like that. Like in one scene, there's Dr. Octopus is under the table, but he doesn't do anything. But these like guys are trying to operate and get his arm. And all of a sudden it becomes a fucking horror movie. This scene scared the shit out of me as a kid, but it's fucking awesome. The effects in this film are pretty great. Like, you can kind of tell when Dr. Octopus is CGI because he's a human, but it's pretty good for 2004 standards. And for every CGI shot there is, they mix in another practical shot to balance it out, so you can't really tell for the most part. If you have a keen eye, you can, but it's done incredibly well. Like I said, it's pretty impressive since Dr. Octopus is not an easy character CGI of all his arms. In fact, he's a human person with a face out and a coat. But there is no goofy jumping shots, but there is weird up-shirt shots of the random girls there for some reason. This film is just great. It just understands the character, not only on a visual and like a great, like a fighting scenes of that, but just an emotional aspect. This film is really about the struggle of being Spider-Man more so than any other film put together. This film is really about Peter Parker's struggle of balancing life, and it gets too hard for him to the point he decides to give up. They decided to do this in a unique way by making Spider-Man's powers fail the more insecure he feels about himself. So this one's more character-driven than the previous film, but every character aspect from the last film is expanded upon. It's not forgotten in literally every aspect. Even previous villain Green Goblin has impact on the story. He's not just a throwaway still remember this guy, and he still has an impact on the characters. And each one's getting a little more depth. Mary Jane's not just a generic love interest. She's actually kind of scolds Peter the whole time for being an asshole to her, even though some people don't read it that way because they're stupid. Bad media literacy, people, come on! But yeah, that's just a couple of reasons why this film's so good. Another reason why is Dr. Octopus, played by Alfred Molina, I think I said that right, who is really good in their role. One, the effect looks fucking amazing for the design of these tentacles. This is actually my favorite look of the character, especially with the trench coat. It just looks great. They decided to give him more of a tragic angle compared to his comic counterpart, which is literally just insane. That's literally his comic, in case you didn't know. He wants to help out humanity, but he goes crazy along the way after a bunch of incident happens with his first test. It's a great character, and I highly recommend watching it just so you can see what happens. There is so many great scenes in the movie, it's just so hard to count. We get a lot more scenes with Jameson here, and there's some iconic ones. Like his iconic laugh here. I mean, that's so great, it became a meme. Well, speaking of loud sounds, I gotta mention this weird scream that Spider-Man does near the end of the movie. I have no idea why he does it, but I love it because it's so funny. But it's not supposed to be funny. It's called the Green Goblin's I guess, because it's near the same part of the film, but whatever. Anyway, there are some people that still have complaints with the Raimi films about some of the side characters, like some random girl screams at the top of her lungs when she's tentacles. Well, she's scared, alright? But these random side guys who just make weird sounds that are really weird are actually there for a reason, believe it or not. This is actually something that only Sam Raimi does, and it actually works very well, where he actually has the city of New York be its own character, and it wants you to remember each character and weirdness, so it actually makes you want Spider-Man to save them in the end. Italian stereotype guy. Alright, so these side characters are pretty goofy, but they're there for a reason, and you understand it. You understand it! Maybe you don't understand it, you just think I'm an idiot. Also, this guy that comes in from the right here, he looks like the voice actor of Homer Simpson. That was a really pointless tangent, I know, but I felt like I had to mention it. Oh, did I mention the train sequence? Literally one of the best sequences in a superhero movie. It's good, look literally every scene about the fight scene beforehand, him straining against it. Any more bright ideas? This film is fucking fantastic. And just watching these clips again makes me want to rewatch it, and I just saw it. But if you really want to watch it, there is another way of watching it. There is an extended version of the movie called Spider-Man 2.1, which is basically, I wouldn't say a director's cut, but basically adds in deleted scenes into the film and longer cuts of certain scenes. It's pretty cool if you're a big fan of the movie. However, I think the original version is better pacing-wise, but there is some pretty cool ones in there. If you're definitely a big Spider-Man 2, we definitely recommend watching this because it is cool to see some alternate takes and stuff like that. Though, for the most part, like I said, the original is, I think, a better cut. with the exception of one scene that really should have made it in, which is a scene where Jameson actually tries on Spider-Man's suit when he is by himself, or he thinks he is. And the funny thing is, they actually had to stuff the suit here to make him look more pudgy, and that's because the actor in real life is not at all pudgy at all. He has to get buff in order to throw drum stools at bad drummers, alright? Oh, did I mention this scene here where, like, he has a vision of Uncle Ben, he's like, but I can't do it anymore, it's causing me too much trouble, Spider-Man no more, it's fucking great, I can't even put it just because I suck at speaking. Anyway, here's some little tidbits I thought when I was a kid. One, there's a scene where Spider-Man goes to a fire building, well, just Peter himself, and he saves a baby, and that's good, that's fine. The only problem with this scene is, as a kid, because I watched as a Spider-Man 1, I was stupid, I got confused. But you see, when I saw this scene as a kid, I was scared that Green Goblin was going to pop up like he did in the first movie in the fiery building, because there's two fiery building scenes in both Spider-Man movies, so at first I thought the Green Goblin was going to pop up, especially since there was a crying kid, and he pretended to be a crying kid in the first movie. I don't know why I thought that, but it's really funny to think about. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm weird that way. The other funny things that I actually thought this film was my least favorite as a kid, not that I disliked it, but because this film has slower, more interpersonal moments, especially a scene where Spider-Man basically gives up being Spider-Man, is why I thought this one was my least favorite, even though I did like it quite a lot as a kid. But obviously the low scenes is what makes it the best one when you're adults. One of those things where you don't really understand it as a kid, but you feel like maybe you will, and when you do, you're like, oh yeah, that's so great, can't believe I missed that, I was a dumbass kid. And now you know. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say about Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3! Spider-Man 2! I haven't got to Spider-Man 3 yet. And even though it's cheesy that Mary Jane runs out of her own wedding, the ending scene where he just swings away, it's kind of melancholy, is so great. It's one of the best endings in any movie, let alone a superhero film. I love this film so much. I get chills every time I watch the ending. It's so fucking good, it makes me want to rewatch the entire film, or go on to Spider-Man 3 immediately, because I love that film too. Also, the credits theme is fucking great. I don't even know, it's Dashboard Confessionals Vindicated. It's an early 2000s, like, alternate rock song, and it's the reason I'm a sucker for that style of music, and I love it so much. It's better than the end soundtrack for the first film, which was fucking Nickelback. It's not that bad, but I'm not a big fan of that band, for obvious reasons. Where is Spider-Man 2 going on the tier list? Well, it's at the very top, and it probably won't be moved at all. It's a possibility that one or two movies might top it, but I don't see it happening. I'll be honest, this is probably the best Marvel's ever going to get. Well, there's going to be more top-tier films, I feel like. But yeah, we're good. Unfortunately, the next couple of films aren't that great. At least, I haven't seen some of them, but some of them are a little more controversial, including its own sequel, which I will defend when we get to it, alright? I like Spider-Man 3. Anyway, hold on to your seats. Thank you for watching. I don't think I'll have much people disagreeing. Some people might prefer some other Spider-Man movies, but I think most people are in agreement that Spider-Man 2 is one of the best Spider-Man movies, let alone the best superhero movies of all time. It also came out with what I consider to be the best superhero movie of all time. Same year, exactly. Isn't that weird? Which also had a train sequence where a character has to stop a train. Isn't that weird? Can you guess what movie that is? Anyway, tell me below in the comment section down below, or you just look at my letterbox, you'll probably figure it out pretty quickly. Anyway, thank you for watching, and next time in the Marvel ranking, we'll be doing Blade Trinity. So see you then.